Welcome back, everybody, to this week's edition of the PGA DFS Pick Show. I am your host, John McNutt, aka John Cool 19. Taking tonight off is TK Nation 47. He is recording another podcast. Definitely go check that out. Representing Fantasy Sports Insight, here to talk about the Fortinet Championship. Obviously, a very short off season for the PGA with the Tour Championship just finishing up a couple weeks ago. Patrick Cantlay coming out with the big win, big money for Patrick Cantlay, as well as the Player of the Year honors, which was handed out today. Nobody really cares that much about that. More importantly, we're going to see Will Zalatoris, the PGA Rookie of the Year, even though he didn't have a tour card. First player to do that since Charles Howell. Really excited for him, and awesome that he's going to be playing all of the PGA Tour events this season, although he didn't miss many last year because all the sponsors were exempting him in anyways because he is just that good. But let's go ahead and talk about this week's event. Again, this is the Fortinet Championship. We're playing at Silverado Resort and Spa in Napa, California. This course is a par 72, about 7,100 yards. We could see it playing just a little bit longer than that. These are a mixed POA bent grass greens. One thing about the greens specifically, they're tiered. They're difficult, not difficult to hit, but you have to hit on the right tier or you're going to be at least two putting. You're not going to make birdie if you're on the wrong tier here. So the approach shots are absolutely critical, being able to get in close to the pin or at least on the right tier. The fairways themselves are actually kind of tough to hit, and but if you miss them, the grass is not that penal. But really the issue is if you're not in the fairway on this course, the angles become very difficult. So being in the fairway is going to be a premium this week. We're also looking at some driving distance as well. Golfers who get it out there do have an advantage on a few of these holes, although we have seen some winners in the past who are not the longest up hitters. But certainly I do think it does help the golfers this week. Other stats that I'm looking at beyond this, just the drive accuracy, good drives gained, something we look at from time to time it's a combination of hitting fairways, or if you miss, still being able to find the green in two. We like that stat quite a bit here this week. Birdie or better, this is going to be quite a bit of birdies this week. We could see something like 20 under or so. Certainly it is above average for scoring when it comes to the PGA Tour. Also going to be counting par 5 scoring. The par 5s are absolutely gettable this week, and you have to shoot low on those holes. Otherwise, you are losing strokes to the field. And then last thing, par 4 scoring, always important, but specifically this week, 400 to 450 yards. There's going to be about 7 holes that fall in that distance. We are going to put that into our modeling also. And then some proximity from the low range, so under 100 and then 100 to 125 as well. Really looking at that. But what we are not considering this week is around the green game. If you are chipping, you are losing strokes already because so many golfers are going to find the greens here. Like I said, they are pretty large, not that difficult to find, but you got to be able to birdie from there. So making the right tier. Again, drive accuracy probably the most important this week, as well as approach. So let's jump in with some of my favorite plays this week on Draftkings. Number one, it's tough to say anything else. Jon Rahm, he's the highest priced golfer in the field. He is a heavy favorite in the betting market, 3.5 to 1 to win. I don't know if Jon Rahm is going to win this week. He certainly is an obvious pick here. The 12-1, though, is what I really have a hard time going with. This is the most expensive golfer we've seen in a couple years, if you don't count the Tour Championship with the staggered start. If you get rid of the Tour Championship, yeah, he's the highest priced golfer we've seen in a couple years. So I am really hesitant to go play Jon Rahm here. I think he's also going to be pretty chalky. The early expectations are that he will be a popular choice. Obviously, if you go down the list, he is the best golfer in the field by a margin. So if you want to go there in tournaments, I understand it. You cannot afford that if you're playing cash events. So really one of my more favorite golfers this week is going to be Will Zalatoris. We talk about him a ton on this show. We absolutely love this kid. Rookie of the Year for the 2020-21, the mega season. And he's just excellent on approach. He's really good off the tee. He's a long distance hitter. His accuracy is not the best, but again, when we looked at that good drives gained, he finds the green on his second shot, even when he misses the fairway a whole lot. We like that a lot about Will Zalatoris this week. He has no course history here, so nothing to talk about there. But his comp course history is above average. Some of the courses we're looking at, that includes TPC Boston, TPC Deer Run, TPC Scottsdale, Detroit Golf Club, and also included Bay Hill in my comp course modeling. So he's above average. So I'm expecting some good things there, even though he hasn't played on this course on tour yet. But we're looking at stats. He's 6th on approach in this field. He's 9th tee to green and 15th in that good drives gained that I talked about. Also 13th in distance. So that'll help out quite a bit. I love everything about Will Zalatoris this week. And I also really like this 22-1 number. I think that's a good value here for a guy that really could go out and win. It would be his first win on tour, but we know that's coming here sooner rather than later. Let's jump down in the pricing just a little bit to some guys that are more value plays. CHEZ REAVIE pops out right away. His course history is excellent. When it comes to Silverado, he's played here 9 times. He has not missed a cut yet. 5 of those 9 were top 25 finishes, and he was 3rd here in 2020. He shot 12 under on the weekend, 18 under overall over 4 days, but just had an excellent weekend last year on this course. I think he's going to be very popular. So that's more of a chalk play, a cash play, in my opinion, based on the ownership here. He's made 7 out of his last 10 cuts. He was 11th, was his best finish there at the 3M. So I think he is certainly more of a cash play versus a GPP. I don't know if he has the upside to win, even though he has the good course history and 1 3rd place finish. I expect him probably more like something top 25 or so. So I will play a lot of CHEZ REAVIE, but heavy on the cash side. Guy I'm going to talk about here is new to the PGA Tour, Chad Ramey. He is only 7K on Draftkings, but his value 70-1 in the betting market. He actually is, it's a really good price on Draftkings for the number we're getting him in the betting market. He was just promoted to the PGA Tour from that Korn Ferry Tour, but he's just been killing it on the Korn Ferry Tour the last few weeks, really the last few months and beyond. I don't see any missed cut from him in quite a few months. He finished 11th at the championship just last week. He was a winner in June at the Maine Open. And I'm looking his last 13 events. He has only finished worse than 20th once. So 10 out of those 12 out of those 13 events, he finished top 20. That is fantastic. He has just been crushing it on the Korn Ferry Tour. I don't expect that to stop. He's a pretty accurate driver and an above average on the distance off the tee. I expect a lot of good things with him, and I do not expect the price. You're going to be paying a lot more than 7K going forward. If he has a good week this week, we could see him being much higher priced through the swing season. And I think he's going to have a great rookie year on tour. So excited to see him. Now jumping over to a sleeper. Yeah, he's a little more expensive, 7,200, but this is a guy 150-1 in the betting market. I absolutely love that number. Adam Svensson comes in here. 7,200 is a great number on DraftKings also, but that 150-1, Adam Svensson has won multiple times on tour in this last calendar year, albeit the Korn Ferry Tour, but they're wins nonetheless. He did win. It was the Nationwide Children's Hospital Championship. That was just a couple weeks ago. Earlier in March, he won at the Car Club Championship as well. He finished 27th at the Korn Ferry Tour Championship. So he's been playing some really good golf lately. He finished 41st on this course in 2018. That was his only trip to Silverado. So he has at least some course experience, unlike a lot of these guys. And then looking at his last 36 rounds, when we include those Korn Ferry Tour rounds, he's 4th tee to green. He is 120th putting. So the putter's got to get better, but 28 fairways gained. He is an accurate driver as well. So I really like what we get at Adam Svensson. He has been on tour before, but he had to go down to Korn Ferry Tour last year, but he just played excellent. He deserved the promotion to get back into the PGA Tour this year. So super excited to see what he can do as the season goes on. That is going to be it for my main picks this week. A couple other guys that I really do like, although I didn't make the slides for him. I like Charlie Hoffman this week quite a bit. He comes in with the great form over the end of last season. Everybody's going to be on Mito Pereira. Lots to like about that young kid. And then Roger Sloan, a guy I play every single week. I am a Sloan slappy, so I will be playing him again, but I really do like how the course sets up for Roger Sloan this week. And I think the price is pretty excellent. A couple golfers that'll be very popular as well still on DraftKings. Kevin Na, although a little bit overpriced in my opinion, but really he's about as good a golfer in this field outside of Jon Rahm and Will Zalatoris Hideki Matsuyama will be under-owned, it appears, on the projected ownership, but I really like Hideki. I play him all the time on Draftkings. He is just so good tee to green. He has a good putting week. He's going to be top 10. Just a matter of if he can get that putter rolling. A couple other guys, Harold Varner has some great course history. He will be popular this week as well. And Pat Perez, a much cheaper option, again, will be popular, but I really like what Pat Perez has been doing lately. So that is going to do it for today's show. Thanks for tuning in. You can find the rest of our picks, a player pool, as well as our core lineups will be posted in our Discord channel tomorrow. The link for our Discord will be found on our Twitter page, and that is at FSI_DFS. As well as our website, fsidfs.com. Please check us out on socials, and thanks for watching.